Welcome to this session on building strong client relationships. By the end of this session, you'll be able to identify the key stages of the client relationship management process, describe the behaviors and soft skills that strengthen relationships, and apply practical strategies to real-world scenarios across the African professional context. Let's begin by grounding ourselves in the why. Strong relationships are the foundation of effective consulting. They build trust, which gives clients confidence in your guidance, loyalty, which leads to repeat business and referrals, and long-term success, both for you and the organizations you serve. No matter how sharp your analysis or impressive your presentation, if you don't build trust and rapport with clients, your work may never land the way it should. A core part of relationship building is truly understanding your clients. This means going beyond surface-level requests to grasp their expectations, pain points, and long-term goals. When you understand what matters to your client, what keeps them up at night, you can deliver solutions that don't just meet the brief but exceed it. And the best way to gain that understanding? Ask thoughtful questions and listen deeply. Managing client relationships isn't a one-off effort. It's a journey with distinct stages. First, initiate, where you make the first impression. Second, engage, where trust begins to form. Third, deliver, where you show competence and professionalism. Fourth, sustain, where you nurture the relationship beyond delivery. Fifth, grow, where you deepen the partnership and unlock new value. We'll walk through each stage with examples to illustrate the right behaviors at the right time. Stage 1. Initiate. This is your first contact with the client, your opportunity to set the tone. Key behaviors: do your homework, research their context, recent news, and pain points. Present yourself professionally through punctuality, clear communication, and culturally appropriate greetings. Use small talk wisely to build rapport and put people at ease. Example: a junior consultant in Kenya opens a first call by referencing a recent national event, establishing warmth and showing cultural awareness. Remember, relationships are human. First impressions matter. Stage 2. Engage. Now that initial contact has been made, it's time to build trust through meaningful dialogue. Key behaviors: ask open-ended questions to uncover real needs. Practice active listening, verbal and nonverbal. Clarify goals and align expectations. An HR profession in Nigeria listens to both executives and employees before proposing restructuring changes. By hearing all sides, they build credibility and avoid missteps. At this stage, your goal is to make the client feel heard, understood, and safe to be honest with you. Stage 3. Deliver. Delivery is where trust is tested. Key behaviors: meet or exceed expectations for quality and timelines. Communicate progress transparently, even when there's nothing new. Handle setbacks with integrity. Example: an IT consultant in Ghana sends regular updates even when there's little progress and proactively flags risks, showing reliability and accountability. Remember, your work may be great, but your client's confidence depends just as much on how you communicate along the way. Stage 4. Sustain. Once you've delivered, the relationship doesn't end. Key behaviors: stay in touch even between projects. Act on feedback and look for small ways to add value. Keep your presence warm, not transactional. Example: a financial advisor in South Africa hosts quarterly webinars, even for clients not currently seeking advice, building trust through thought leadership. Staying top of mind without being pushy is key at this stage. Stage 5. Grow. A well-managed relationship can become a long-term partnership. Key behaviors: identify new ways to support the client's evolving goals. Offer insights or solutions they haven't asked for. Leverage referrals and expand within their network. Example: a consultant in Uganda notices a growing interest in sustainability. They propose a green supply chain audit, offering value before the client even asks. This is where you move from being a service provider to a trusted advisor. Take a moment to reflect. Think about a recent client, colleague, or stakeholder. At which stage of the relationship do you excel? Where could you have strengthened the connection? What's one behavior you could improve in your next interaction? These reflections help you bring intentionality to relationship building. Let's bring it to life. Imagine you're a junior consultant analyst at AfriConsult, a regional consulting firm. You're part of a team working with Green Foods, a fast-growing agribusiness in Kenya, to develop a market expansion strategy into East Africa. There's a high-stakes engagement as Green Foods is also considering long-term partnership with AfriConsult. Your team leader has asked you to play a key supporting role in managing client relationships at every stage. Stage 1. You are included in the first client call to introduce the team. You've researched Green Foods and their recent press coverage about sustainability challenges. During introductions, you greet the client warmly and make a positive impression by asking a thoughtful question. I noticed Green Foods recently launched a zero-waste packaging initiative. How has that been received in your current markets? Stage 2. Attend stakeholder interviews with the client's regional managers. One manager expresses frustration about high transportation costs but seems hesitant to share details. You can listen actively, ask open-ended questions like, "Can you describe some of the challenges your team has faced with distribution?" You note both their responses and their non-verbal cues, crossed arms, hesitations, suggesting they may be concerned about being blamed. You share this observation with your team lead after the meeting. Stage 3. You're responsible for gathering data on competitors in Tanzania and preparing a weekly progress update for the client. You deliver your updates consistently and flag potential risks, for example, unreliable data sources, showing reliability. When a delay occurs because of a supplier interview cancellation, you inform the client immediately and offer an alternative timeline. Stage 4. Even after the main report is submitted, you join a debrief call where the client asks casual questions about similar projects in Rwanda. You take the opportunity to share a few insights and promise to send them a short summary of trends you noticed, reinforcing AfriConsult's value beyond the current project. Stage 5. 2 months later, you hear Green Foods is considering a sustainability audit. You draft a short briefing note suggesting how AfriConsult could support them, which your team lead later sends to the client. Remember, client relationships are built step by step over time. Success doesn't come from a single great presentation, but from consistent, thoughtful interactions. Show up prepared, communicate clearly, stay reliable even after the work is done. Ultimately, the way clients experience you is how they experience your entire organization. In our next session, we'll dive deeper into understanding client needs and expectations so that your solutions don't just impress, they fit.